Hello guys and welcome back to another video here in the channel for Rememento White Shadow. I have to let you know that I do have faith in this game. I do believe that this game is going to have more public, that they are going to be publicizing this game more, and that people is going to start coming to the game more often. I will be making videos for this game at least every other day, so just wanted to let you know that. But today, the start of the day is Machina, a new character that has some limitations and that I believe can definitely replace Diana. I know some clickbait in the title, right, saying that she's better than Diana. I would say that she's pretty much equal to Diana, right? Maybe a bit better depending on how you feel things are, right? But I do think that both Diana and Machina are pretty much the same team, right? The only problem with this character is that she has some, glaring difficulties with a couple of things. But we are going to be addressing that in a moment, right? So when it comes to this character, where basic attacks, it doesn't matter, right? Second skill, right? The first skill is actually a debuff for damage increase to all enemies. So if you're bringing already a character that would do defense break, having these available to increase the damage even further would be great. Now you have a second skill that increases your effect accuracy. This is really good, but then that lowers the requirements on this character for her to have any accuracy at all, right? You don't really need to have any accuracy on her. You just put like I don't know, attack on the legs, or you can just put like I don't know, HP just for survivability, and you don't have to worry about any effect accuracy since you already have this, right? All you have to do is just get a little bit of it in the substats. I would say like between 20 to 30%, which is not impossible to get. But the way this works is that it gives you the speed accuracy buff, and then there is some misconception here or mistranslation here, right? Implying that you would need to have this buff for she to give you the other one, but it doesn't work like that. So a lot of your units already have a buff; they would immediately get increase, damage increase as well, right? So it's 30% damage increase. And then the ultimate would increase attack and would increase crit damage. Crit damage is 60%, right? Attack is 50%. And this is for 3 turns, and you don't really need dupes for this to last 3 turns. And the cooldown is also 3 turns, and you don't need dupes to lower the cooldown, right? All that dupes do for this skill is that it increases the 25 to 25% the attack gauge for all of your allies. It's weird that it says heals. That's pretty weird, right? But yeah, the only problem is that then she would get a stun right after that, and that's the reason why some people say that she's not really that good for PvE. I would just be showing you something in a moment. For her passive is very similar to what Diana does, but the way Diana does it is like it's not actually more, right? Because Diana is more than this, right? But Diana is based on the enemy using skills that are not an attacking skill, right? And it has to be the enemy using that. In the case of Machina, is that so long as your allies use any attacking skill, they would immediately get a boost to their attack gauge, which is going to allow you to make sure that your DPS is not cut off, and that the enemy Libertas, for example, is not going to take in the place of your what is this called, DPS, and killing you just due to that. But overall, like, the character is really good. When it comes to dupes, I would recommend, if you're playing this character mainly for PvP, you want to go for the ultimate first, because you definitely need this. You definitely need this to compete versus Diana, right? Most people would have Diana on their defenses, so just make sure that you have this. And also the passive is going to be your second priority, because even though it is only a 3% increase, that 3% can make the difference between you being able to win or not the battle, right? Because if the enemy has way better speed rolls than you, then these 8% would save your ass. Now, for PvE, I would start with the second skill, since it would increase the duration of the buff to 2 turns. And then after that, I would go for this, right? And then after that, the ultimate, right? Because this one, why this one? Because it would increase the chances, right? And you would have something else to do with the character in PvE. Now, the problem for PvE is that the character gets stunned, and then you would say, well, what do I do after I get stunned, right? So let me show you guys something that you can do for that. So if I attack this enemy, for example, let's see that this is not in auto. It's not in auto. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a character that gives me immunity. Volume is super high. Okay, so now I have immunity, and now I can use my skill with Machina. And as you can see here, I'm immune to my own stun, right? So I was not stunned, and that would allow me then to continue playing with Machina without any problems. My recommendation is that you should not be using Chloe as the character to use immunity before Machina. My recommendation is actually, see, if you were lucky enough, I have not been lucky with that, right? But if you have Priscilla, Priscilla is 131 speed once you increase all of her speed talents, right? And Machina is 137 if I'm not wrong. So it's only a difference of 6 speed that you have. So you can definitely make Priscilla that is faster than your Machina for PvE. And then Priscilla will give you immunity and would increase your attack bar as well. And would give you guard damage as well. So the combination is great. Because now you have immunity, now you have guard damage immunity, and now you would have attack increase and great damage increase. And then after that, you're going to be having effect accuracy, and now you're going to be having like damage increase and then damage increase taken to the enemy. So you can make an insane combination for PvP with these two characters. And then the other option, I think, probably would be this character. The problem with this character is that she doesn't really have any XP, any speed here, so it's pretty low, right? So I guess Chloe would be like your best option. But again, it's only 106 speed, so it's way, way harder to have this character go first in your Machina. So definitely combine her with Priscilla if you want to use her on PvE, or just don't care about. I mean, you don't have to care about that. The other way that you can go with this is that your Chloe has to be fast enough so that she can play right after your Machina, right? Your Machina cannot be so fast that you would get a second turn before your Chloe takes a turn, because that's the other way to circumvent the stun, right? As soon as your Chloe takes the turn, she's going to activate her talent, remove the debuff on your allies, and then your Machina will be free. So that's another way to circumvent this. You have other characters that can also remove debuff, like Seri, for example, right? That's another option as well, a completely free to play option that you can have, but this one you will need to use the skill for you to be able to remove the debuff, which is this one, right? And then yeah, options, definitely options available, and you can either again go with a combination of Priscilla going first, Machina going second, or you can go with a combination of just Chloe being in the team with around 220, 230 speed, and that should be enough for her to add before your Machina, and then make sure to remove the debuff. The only problem with that is that the enemy uses a skill, right? So your Chloe have to be fast, because if your enemy uses a skill before your Chloe attacks, right, then the enemy is going to put more debuff on your character, and you cannot guarantee that the debuff that is going to be removed is going to be stun, and you don't want to be wasting MPs on removing the debuff, right? That's not the whole point. The whole point is that you don't have to use any MPs on removing the debuff. So that's why I'm recommending 230, 240, 220 speed on your Chloe if you want to do it that way. Now, when it comes to PvP, when it comes to builds as well, I already talked about pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and use, like, what you have to do for this character is just pretty much use whatever is the fastest that you have, right? Just go for whatever you have that is the fastest. Of course, you're going to be needing a speed on your chest piece. You're going to be needing, like, what is this called? HP here on your legs, HP here on your cloak, right? You want definitely to have a full speed set as well. Let me see, what is the missing a piece? Okay, right here. And we're missing some boots. This one's here. There you go. So right now it's 231. This is not perfect. If you're looking for a good Machina for PvP, you definitely want to go for at least 250 to 160, so that you can guarantee that you are not going to be getting cut off, just in case the enemy has some resistance and they resist your Libertas, which we are going to be talking about that in a moment. Also, something else is the weapon. You don't really have to use this weapon on her, but one of your characters on your team has to have this weapon added to them, right? This is very crucial, because if you don't have this weapon, you will not have enough MP for your DPS to use their ultimate skill. The DPS can be whoever you want. It doesn't have to be Xion. It can be Beatrice, for example. It can be anything that deals AoE damage. It can be Isania, which is a great DPS for PvP as well, right? It can be even, I don't know, Arnis. I'm not sure about Arnis, but I mean, yeah, something that is an attacker and that has AoE attacks, right? And depending on the enemy, you may also try to go with Chessa. Probably would work as well. so long as the enemy doesn't have like a second DPS on their team, right? And then they beat your ass when they're not able to kill the DPS, or if you only kill the DPS, then they have another one that kills you, right? It all depends, right? So just let me show you my reasoning in regards to how the team would work. Here we go here with, so you always need Libertas, right? This would not work without Libertas, and Diana also doesn't work without Libertas, right? Just keep that in mind, guys. Nothing works without Libertas when you go to higher PvP rankings in this game. Libertas has to be the first one to play. She needs to reduce the attack bar of the enemy, so that then now you can use your Machina to increase your own attack bar and then gain advantage over your enemy so that you can attack first. As you can see here, all of my units are going to be attacking first before the enemy. This is a bot, of course. And then the next thing that you need to do is that you need to bring a third character that is fast. So as you can see, my Stain is here just to do this. All she needs to do is just use a basic attack. That's all she needs to do, so that now I have 3 MP, and then now I can use Final Judgment and destroy the enemy. That's how it works, pretty much. You don't worry about the stun here, because the enemy should be dead with the first attack. If they are not dead with the first attack, then you're doing something very wrong, right? So let's see if I can win versus this guy here. I'm not completely sure if I will be able to do so, but let's give it a try. Alright, seems to be that I'm going to be first. So what I'm going to do, again, attack with my Libertas. I will be reducing the attack bar of the enemies. As you can see, all my units are coming now, and they are going to be going next. So now I can increase the attack bar of everyone. And let's see if I still... Yeah, I'm still on top, right? So all I have to do here is just use a basic attack. And then lastly, just finish everyone else with my ultimate, right? Someone may have survived, but the DPS should be dead. Yep, both the DPS are dead. So there's nothing to worry about at this time. And yes, so pretty much that's it, guys. That's how this character works. That's how you can use her to replace Diana. If you don't have Diana, she's actually better than Diana in the case that you only need like... well, Diana will also only need like 2 dupes for her to be like super good, and this character also needs 2 dupes to be super good. But the difference here is that we have the character in a banner, and you can actually get the character multiple times, while Diana, you just have to be lucky, right? So I just wanted to show you guys this. This definitely works. This definitely would allow you to use the character more efficiently, and I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you like what you're seeing. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a like, and comment in the comment box. It would be very important. If you have any questions, I can always answer questions in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Peace.